We've already had simply the best here at Whitley Bay tonight. Now for a Scotsman who's a world champion and something still of an unsung hero, but he obviously believes he can match Eubank at least in how he comes to the ring. Our MC Alan Hughes will explain more.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome into the ring for this light flyweight contest from Mexico, Jose Luis Velarde.
Jose Luis Velarde, the 26-year-old Mexican who's shown signs of late of being a bit on the shot-worn side, to be honest with you. His last win was in December of 1993, and here he faces Scotland's world light flyweight champion, WBO version, Paul Weir. 20 wins, 15 defeats for Velarde. Bit of a have gloves, will travel man. His last fight was in Japan back in May. Clever fighter, but lacks a bit of physical strength in long fights. That's the word out on Velarde. His career's rather lost its way after he won his first 14.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome into the ring the WBO light flyweight champion of the world, Paul Weir.
Well, he's from Scotland, and you're going to see a very Scottish flavour to this ring entrance. That he is from Scotland. Paul Weir, a two-time world champion already after only 10 professional fights at strawweight and now at light flyweight. Hasn't had a lot of recognition. He's been operating at the two lowest weights that exist. Good sporting gesture as he comes into the ring, Paul Weir. We hope it's quicker than 55 seconds. Remember, Eubank was earning £6,000 a second, we reckon, for his win tonight. Just on a calculation. Nice work if you can get it. The bagpipes are finished. Here's
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a light flyweight contest at 7 stone 12 over 10 3-minute rounds. Introducing in the red corner with the all-green shorts with 20 wins from 35 contests, 13 inside the distance from Mexico. Will you welcome, please, Jose Luis Velarde. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the blue and the white shorts. 9 wins from 10 contests, 3 inside the distance from Scotland. He is the reigning WBO light flyweight champion of the world, Paul Weir.
But his world title is not on the line tonight, Weir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in yesterday, both boxers were within the stipulated limit. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 3-minute rounds of boxing.
Well, Paul Weir looking to gain more recognition for his exploits so far. Amazingly, this 27-year-old from Irvine in Ayrshire, half his fights have been world championship contests.
It really is that he's done so much in 10 fights.
Seconds out for round 1.
Weir, who's 27, Velarde a year younger, but he's had a lot more fights, 35 to Weir's 10. And Velarde, by the way, is from a place called Culiacan in Mexico, and fight fans will know that is the home base of the great Julio Cesar Chavez. And I think early in his career, Velarde actually has a win over Chavez's brother Robert.
I think in this fight, Weir will want to make a good start. He'll want to really force, his dominance on the fight from the very start, because we've often seen when important fighters come in, especially Mexicans, who, they breed them very, very tough over there, especially these little men. Once they start to get into a fight, they get better and better as they gain in confidence. So Weir will want to really establish his authority straight away.
Yes, as we've said before, these Mexicans at the lighter weights, you take them lightly at your peril. It's really something of a marking time exercise, this for Weir. Well, that's the way it looks anyway on paper. Whether it turns out that way in the ring is another question.
But also one of the points, he is a very good fighter, but very inexperienced, only 10 fights. This man's had 35 fights. He's had more KOs than Weir's had fights.
Weir's only defeat was against Josue Camacho in a WBO light flyweight title fight in February of last year. But after that, he went in and won the vacant title. Busy, workmanlike fighter, Weir. Good lateral movement from him. Because these guys at the lighter weights, Glenn, they don't earn big money, although there has been talk of a £200,000 payday for Weir in South Africa, but that's never materialized either.
That's right. It's always very hard for these sort of fighters, because they do so much, they work so hard. He's very accomplished. He's won 2 world titles, and yet it's hard for him, because obviously they're not gonna. It's very difficult to make the big name and the big money when you're a small man.
He's done some quite impressive boxing and shown good skills in this opening round, Weir.
Yes, a very nice start. He's moving around the ring well. Nice, fast combinations. And a good first round.
Although he's lost 15, Velarde is often mixed in pretty good company. I think Weir will have won that opening round here. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, let me tell you, Chris Eubank has won in 55 seconds tonight. More live action with Paul Weir here, the WBO light flyweight champion, in a non-title fight here tonight. We think he's won the first round against Jose Luis Velarde of Mexico. Was a good amateur. Twice boxed in European Championships, won a bronze, Commonwealth Games, ABA final in 1990, World Cup, World Championships. He's certainly been around a bit. And one of his wins as an amateur was over Neil Swain, who you might have seen last night, winning on Sky Sports. We're in the blue trunks here with the sort of Scottish flag emblazoned on them. Very neat kind of fighter, isn't he? Weir, good movement, changes the angles.
Yes, he's very sharp. Nice little combinations he throws. And he's always looking for his next punch. You see he's working inside there, then he moves out, changes angles, comes in again. Nice variety of work.
Velarde showed good durability when he lasted the distance with the excellent world champion Michael Carbajal 3 years ago. He's also fought Pablo Tiznado, who we saw over here putting up an excellent performance against Mickey Cantwell. That went to points as well. But he did take a lot of stick when he was beaten by the Canadian Scott Olsen, stopped in the 8th round. So it's a very mixed kind of a record that Velarde brings into the ring with him here. On paper, it's a fight Weir would expect to win.
Yes, and reports about Velarde were that he wasn't really physically strong, but at the moment he's taken the fight to Weir, and he's trying to pressure him with his footwork, and he's making Weir move quite a bit.
Mixing up the punch as well to head and body there, Weir. Used to be with the Croy Miners and Springfield amateur boxing clubs up in Scotland.
Keep moving, Paul. Repeat it all. Press it, Paul. Keep moving.
I think Weir's got a few Scottish fans here, because I'm told that Whitley Bay, which is where we are, there are a lot of Scottish holiday makers who frequent this resort.
Well, they'll be enjoying Weir's work so far, because he's putting his punches together nice, boxing very well.
It's a good short little hook come uppercut from him as well, though. Velarde looking for the body punches to maybe slow Weir down. Weir has a fast right as well.
Yes, Weir's teeing off on Velarde, but he remains poker-faced and remains trying to put the pressure on.
Smart boxing by Weir. He's winning the fight at the moment, but it's early. Welcome back live to the Ice Bowl in Whitley Bay, up on the northeast coast of England, where the Whitley Warriors ice hockey team are usually in action. It's a good deal warmer than that here tonight. In fact, it's like a sauna down here at ringside. This is Jose Luis Velarde, who's tried pressure tactics so far, but found Weir a bit elusive. Poor Weir in the blue trunks here. He's been impressive, I think, so far. Weir, his work has been neat. He's picked his punches well.
Yes, it's a very good performance. He's just boxing and doing everything he wants. A good workout. Velarde trying to pressure him, but really he's moving his feet into distance, but he's not moving his hands.
Good right hand from him too.
A very good right hand, sent the sweat flying.
The opportunities have come early for Weir, because of course there are a lot less fighters frequenting these lower weights, so you can rise up the ladder pretty quickly with some wins, and the connections of Tommy Gilmore have given him his opportunities, and to be fair to them, to Weir, he's taken them.
That's right, it's okay getting there quickly, but you've got to be able to do the business when you get there, and so far he's done it well.
Outboxing Velarde at the moment, who just hasn't really been able to close the range or slow Weir down. Body punching would seem to be the answer for him, but he has to get close enough first to do that, and he can't seem to get past that. Look at those jabs from Weir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And opening up with combinations too. It's all Weir at the moment.
Yes, and he's becoming a little bit more spiteful with his punches. He's trying to get let a few more go on, trying to get a little bit more power into them.
There's a feeling with Velarde that he's just getting to that stage where he's getting into the travelling loser category.
That's right, that is happening to him, and really he's got to find something special if he's going to take something away from Weir. Obviously he'll want to do it. A win against Weir would propel him right up the rankings and into world title contention.
But has he got that sort of ambition here?
You would think with how far he's gone, the fights he's been in, the losses he's had, that he wouldn't have it now. But really, this is an opportunity for Weir to impress. He's got to, if he wants to start to creep up to the big money status and start to make a name for himself, he's got to start being really impressive against this type of opponent.
Weir has hardly missed so far. Yeah, that was quite one-sided, that third round. 3 rounds gone, 3-2 Paul Weir. There are some statistics from the computer. In that last round, Weir, we reckon, threw 127 punches. This is total punches over the whole contest. Correction. Velarde's thrown 121, but look how many more Weir has actually landed. 82 to 34. 64% success rate for Weir and under 30% for Velarde. That tells you its story, really.
I think this was the best punch so far. The big right hand. You see the sweat flying from Velarde's head. That was a good, solid shot, but the poker-faced Velarde just carries on coming forward. There it is. He really got some power behind that one, but the Mexican took it well.
These Mexicans are usually pretty durable and they seem to have this tough, leathery skin. He has been stopped, though, Velarde. He's beaten in 11 rounds in a Continental Americas title bid. And the 5th-ranked Mexican, Gerardo Garcia, stopped him in the first round.
And you're really getting a demonstration of some of Weir's good combinations now. He's starting to put them together.
At the moment, Weir is doing almost exactly what he wants. Now, what can Velarde do about that? He certainly needs to step up the tempo a bit, doesn't he, Velarde?
Yes, he's not fighting like a man with a little bit of fire in his belly or a bit of devil left in him. He's had a lot of tough fights in a long career.
But he's still only 26.
That's right, he's still a young man, and you'd feel, given this sort of opportunity, he would rise to it a bit more.
Fourth round, I mean, do you think Weir's got a point? I mean, he hasn't really caught on as a big star, despite the fact that he's won a couple of world titles already. It's hard to make a name for yourself at these very low weights, like strawweight and light flyweight, because people don't tend to regard them as the genuine article, do they?
That's right, but also I think people appreciate more. People want to see the knockout. People want to see, they like the good boxing. He's beautiful boxing, beautiful combinations, but they want to see the devastating finish.
Scotland has produced some great names down the years, like Dick McTaggart and Ken Buchanan, Benny Lynch, Jim Watt, Walter McGowan, Jackie Patterson. If I've left any out, please don't write in. Short little left hook by Weir, although it did tend to look as if it landed with the inside of the glove. See, although Weir's only had these 10 professional fights, he's done so much as an amateur that he's a pretty experienced campaigner, really.
That's right, and he's shown this sort of experience here. He's boxing very well indeed. This is a real good demonstration of boxing.
Just presenting the mobile target to Velarde, who's finding it very hard to get him in the sights of the gun barrel. It's classic tactics, really, isn't it, against a pressure fighter?
That's right, very good tactics. He's moving well. Velarde trying to cut off the ring, but Weir's always one step ahead.
If you've just joined us live at Whitley Bay, let me tell you or remind you that Chris Eubank has won in 55 seconds tonight against Jose Ignacio Baratabaena, the, well, out of his depth Spaniard. And all it really proved is that Eubank is a good, solid punching super middleweight, and Baratabaena was way, way, way out of his league. We're going to show you the action again if you stay with us right after this fight with Paul Weir live in the blue trunks up against Jose Luis Velarde, the rather ring-worn Mexican. That's the way it looks at the moment. Weir's been really turning on the boxing skills here, though. He's putting on a beautiful display. I'm sure his fans, though, would like to see him finish the job.
Yes, I think at this point that's what Weir needs to really to catch the eye. He needs to have a good finish, and this would be an impressive stoppage if he could get it. But certainly at this point, Velarde didn't look like he wants to fall into them plans.
Weir is not known as a concussive puncher, but he works hard, he punches sharply.
I think one thing that Velarde's shown is that Weir can't relax, because he's calling Weir in now, just on and liven up a little bit. So he's making Weir work.
It's body punches you feel that Velarde needs. And every time he tries to get in range, he's picked off with that jab all the time. He's on the end of it. Like a great big pole coming out and smacking into his face every time he comes forward. A very dispiriting experience, I would imagine.
It certainly is, Ian, I can tell you.
You had a pretty good jab yourself, as I recall.
Yeah, but I took a few as well. Weir hasn't thrown as many punches in this round. He's let the jab go quite well, but hasn't put his combinations, just as I say that, he's supposed to put them together, but he hasn't put them together as much. He relied on the jab and relied on his movement in this round.
Yeah, they're good tactics from Weir against this kind of opponent, really. Quickly into range and then out again, while Velarde is still thinking about how to apply some pressure. He looks rather one-paced, the Mexican. He doesn't seem to have a plan B, does he, really?
No, he doesn't really. He doesn't look as if he can step it up, and he doesn't look as if he really has a big bang in them fists.
Plan A isn't working too well, is it?
It certainly isn't. He needs to step it up a little bit.
Weir goes back to his corner. That's the Paul Weir corner. They've still got things to say to him in there.
Yes, I think they like what he's doing. I think they want him to throw a few more combinations, a little bit more snap in his work. And here's some of the good work, trying to get his combinations off. He just relied a little bit more on the jab in that round. He's having to move an awful lot in this fight, but he has gone the distance. He's gone 12 rounds 4 times, Weir, so I shouldn't think he'll tire in this fight.
In the corner, Benny King and Dunky Jowett, veteran cut man in the glasses there.
Second round, round 6.
6th round. Should go 10. It's a pity for good boxers like Weir with lots of skills that these days, really, to become a star name, you need to do something spectacular, have marquee value by almost having some kind of freak side to your nature almost, don't you?
Yes, I think
I like
certainly,
Eubank Nassim.
certainly you need the gimmicks, but the thing with them fighters is every now and again they pull off, the big knockout win. I think that's what Weir needs. He needs to start putting the pressure on. He needs to start stopping a few of his opponents. Weir's shown very good boxing skills. You see him just slipping, just making the punches miss there by an inch or something.
Velarde hasn't won a round so far. I don't have the scorecard of the referee in front of me, but I feel pretty confident in saying that. That was very low from him. Keep them up. says referee Arnold Bryson. These days you very rarely get disqualifications for low blows. It's deemed that the protective equipment is good enough for a fighter to recover and carry on, given a maximum of about a 5-minute break.
But we are still controlling this fight very well. Velarde trying to put pressure on, but really he's just a little bit out of distance, can't close that gap, and when he gets in, doesn't seem to have the power to really worry Weir.
Again, that looked a bit low from Velarde. He's throwing these sweeping left hooks, and they're landing very much in marginal territory. Last quarter of a minute coming up then of the 6th round. No problems at all in there for Paul Weir at the moment. Sure, they'll be lining up another world title defense for him pretty soon to keep him busy.
Right underneath the protective cup.
Weir with a look of sheer disgust at the referee.
Happiness, one could say.
Happiness, yeah. Here's the 7. This is the way we see the fight so far, and it's a story simply told. Weir winning rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Velarde, we don't think has won anything so far.
No, Weir really has it in control, boxing really as he like. He is showing very good skills, nice combination coming in. But Velarde just didn't seem able to step up a gear.
Got in with the right hand there, though, Velarde. That was one of the better punches that he's managed to land with. This time Weir was low. No knockdown so far, no cuts. Weir wanted to fight Humberto Gonzalez, WBC and IBF champion, but he was beaten by a Thai, Saman Sorjatarom, quite recently, so that's out of the window for the time being. It is very, very difficult to make money as a professional boxer, even a top professional boxer at the very light weights. One of the reasons is, of course, those divisions are almost non-existent in the home of boxing, as it were, the United States.
That's right. But we are still doing everything that he's asked. Beautiful boxing. Velarde trying to come forward, but really just didn't have the power to stop Weir in his tracks and to get any sort of leeway in this fight.
Velarde just maybe starting to do a wee bit more in this 7th round. Weir's hit him with hundreds of punches already. He's never shaken the Mexican up at all so far. Velarde's last win was 19 months ago in Mexico City. It's getting to be a bit of a long time.
Yes, I think he needs a win desperately, doesn't he? But he's just so uninspired. They've given a great opportunity here. I think he can lift the pace, but again, you can't take anything away from Weir. His boxing's so good, he's not giving him a chance.
So you've heard what Glenn McCrory and I think. We think that Weir here is going for the old shutout. Barry McGuigan, I don't suppose you're seeing things too much differently, are you? Or are you?
Well, no, I think Weir is doing absolutely excellent work there. He's boxing very well. This guy has only been beaten, Velarde's only been beaten by, stopped inside the distance by the top men in the divisions, in the different divisions. But I have to say that Weir is not sitting down on his punches a little bit. He could sit down a little bit more, put a little bit more emphasis on power. Right now, he's totally outboxed Velarde so far. Over the next few rounds, you should try to sit down and punch this guy, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop this guy. He's a tough little nut, and a points decision looks the most likely outcome.
Thanks, Barry. Yeah, we've just been thinking at ringside that I suppose the quality that Weir lacks, apart from power, is he needs to look a bit more exciting, really, if he's going to get the big-time promoters wanting to put him into some more lucrative kind of matches with the world champions that are around.
That's right, and that means really stoppages. He needs to start, stepping on his opponents more and showing a little bit more devil. He has the boxing skills. He can put his combinations together so well, but just needs to step on the gas a little bit and have a little bit more devil in his work.
Again, a bit low from Weir. Those two landed down by the stripes on the shorts of Velarde. Good left hooks from him. See, the problem as well, it really is when you've got a fighter who's holding a world championship, he's in a non-title fight. If you're the guy who's in control of him, you're not going to put him in with somebody who's got too much chance of beating him. That would be bad management.
Of course it would. And this is a good fight for him. He's getting experience, he's getting rounds under his belt, and that's what he needs. Remember, he's only had 10 fights. He's just prepared at this moment. He's just starting to prepare to stand with Velarde a little bit more, trying to get a little bit more emphasis and a little bit more weight into his punches.
Velarde again trying to make the body the target. He's still finding Weir elusive.
And you can see Weir, fast combinations, but he's just giving him a little bit of power to land that fast combination. He needs maybe just to slow the combination down, look for a little bit more power.
Velarde really has been around. He's boxed over 200 rounds. We started this one on 83. Velarde might be losing a lot these days, but he's still got his pride. He'll certainly want to make sure he hears that final bell. He looks a hard man to stop and put away, really, doesn't he?
He does, because you've got to look. He's took a lot of punches from Weir, and he's still just walking forward, trying just to keep moving the head, but still putting the pressure on all the time. It's never looked, even though Weir's landed with so much, he's never looked as if he's really hurt him.
Little sign of mutual respect between them there. A playful little tap. It was almost like a gym workout, that, really. Weir has thrown 339 and landed 68% of them. Velarde has thrown 381. More punches he's thrown, we reckon, on our computer, but landed only 29% of them. I'm surprised that Velarde has thrown more punches. Could have fooled me. Computer knows more than we do about it.
Yes, I wouldn't agree with that myself. Yeah, Weir certainly, for me, throwing the more punches and landing a tremendous amount more.
Computer age is a wonderful thing, Glenn.
It certainly is.
Quite interesting, though, those stats. They can sometimes be quite revealing, and they did show, really, that Weir was landing plenty, and that's the most telling statistic as they come out now for round 9. You couldn't give Velarde a round. You couldn't even argue that he has won a round, could you? Here?
No, you couldn't. This is, for me, this is a total shutout. We are boxing very well indeed against a tough and experienced fighter.
I suppose the fans who saw only 55 seconds of Chris Eubank, his ring entrance lasted considerably longer, and so did the interview I did with him afterwards. At least they're seeing a few rounds of boxing here from one of Britain's world champions.
Yes, they saw a bit of power, now they've seen a bit of skill. Again, Velarde just landing a little bit low.
One round rather like another at the moment.
Yes, very much so. But we are still showing good touches of class there. You see, he tripled up the left hook. I feel Weir's just on the tire a little bit. Not as much good clean work as there was earlier on.
Nice right uppercut inside from him. Streets ahead. Velarde needs a knockout to turn this around. And so far, you have to say, that looks about as likely as me getting a game for Manchester United this coming season.
Yes, I wouldn't get the football boots out, Ian. I think Weir is tiring. It's just he's just down the hole a little bit. You've got to remember he's done an awful lot of moving. Velarde has kept him on his bike the whole fight.
Yes, he's certainly covered a bit of ground, hasn't he? Dancing around the ring perimeter, presenting the mobile target. He's done that well. The skills have been good. Let's not mistake that. He's got plenty of skills, but maybe he just needs to, I don't know, add a bit more pizzazz somewhere along the way.
Yes, just sit down on his punches a little bit. Just start to look for some more power. You know, he's got good defense, good boxing ability. He can put his combinations together good. He's just got to learn just to slow his work down a little bit. Sit down on the knees and start putting a bit more power in his punches. But he's certainly exciting a few Scottish fans out there.
Well, the old bagpipes are ringing around the arena. They're making Whitley Bay seem as if it's actually in Scotland. It isn't far away.
That's right, but I thought we kept the likes of them chaps out of here.
That was a few centuries.
Yeah, I think we built a wall, didn't we?
The Picts and the Scots. Oh, don't start all that again.
Sorry, you would bring me home, wouldn't you?
Second now, 10th and final round.
Last round here. I must say the locals and the holiday makers as well have supported this promotion splendidly, paying between 20 and 50 pounds for their tickets, and a good sprinkling of the local sports stars here. You've met Warren Barton, Newcastle United's new signing. A lot of the players here. I think Peter Beardsley's around somewhere. I was told he was coming anyway. Final round, we reckon, has won the previous 9.
Yes, a good boxing display. I think he'd be happy with this. It's more experience. He's in with a different style of fighter. He needs experience. He needs fights.
Well, Well, Weir maybe just a little more tired now. He's got a right to be, really, because he's been mobile. At no stage has Velarde threatened to upset Weir's rhythm at all. He's never really been able to move up the gears, has he?
No, I think a little bit of credit's got to go to Velarde. He's tried to make a fight with it. He's tried to come forward, but really he just hasn't got the skills to match Weir. He's shown himself, plenty tough, plenty game, but just not quite in the league of Weir.
Yes, he may come from Culiacan, but any other similarities really with Chavez, I think, end there.
Yes, but Weir, he is the world champion. He has shown himself to be that.
Yes, he's been in a totally different class to this man. Good body shots from Weir. I'll tell you what, it'll take a good little light flyweight to dethrone him from that WBO title, I think.
Yes, it will. He's got very good skills. I think there's still room for the trainers to work on a little bit of improvement, try to get him to sit down on his feet a little bit, look for a little bit more power. But he's got a great deal of skills. He's a good fighter.
Operating in the 7 stone 10 pound division, now at light flyweight, having been a world champion at strawweight. That's 7 stone 7. There goes the final bell. Weir, of course, is the winner, and on my scorecard he won every round, 100 points to 95. We shall see in a moment whether Alan Hughes, when he collects the scorecard, the referee Arnold Bryson announce is something similar. I don't know, maybe he gave Velarde a share of 1 or 2. We'll hear now.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Arnold Bryson has scored the contest 96.5 to Jose Luis Velarde, 100 to Paul Weir. Weir is the winner.
Well, he scored 3 rounds even. Couldn't see it myself, but there you go. It was a runaway win for Paul Weir, but I don't think, quite honestly, Glenn, that it's going to set the world talking, or the other light flyweights shaking in their boots.
No, it isn't, but it's a non-title fight. Why should he have a real tear-up? He did what he had to do. He's got his money, another win on the belt, more experience, and he goes on for the big fights.
Couldn't have said it better myself. There we are, back to Paul Dempsey.
Thanks, Glenn and Ian. Barry, looking through his record, there isn't a lot of experience there for Weir, and he's had a devil of a job to try and convince the British public that he is worthy of our support. Why?
Well, I think, first of all, because the weight division isn't recognised in this country.
This is the light flyweight.
Neither light flyweight nor strawweight, both of the divisions that he's won world titles at. And it's a sign of the time that fighters can fight for titles at such a sort of premature stage in their career. But Weir is genuinely a world-class fighter. Tonight he had a very tough, durable opponent who was concentrating on surviving. And it was difficult for him to knock this guy out because he's got a very tough, good, strong chin. Weir needs to punch a bit harder, needs to work on that, needs to learn to sit down on his punching and punch with more power. But that, of course, takes a risk with it. So he was boxing sensibly tonight and won convincingly.
Can you point him in the direction of A, recognition, and B, money?
No. I'll tell you why. It's very difficult for him to become a recognised champion over when we don't recognise the division, first of all. Secondly, there aren't any big fights out there for him. The 2 champions in the other divisions is the WBC and IBF is from Thailand, and the other guy's from Korea. So unless he wants to travel halfway across the world, there's not going to be a payday. Unfortunately, he's going to have to try and develop as many defences against European opposition and American opposition as he can, and hope that he will build his name up.
Well, let's hope he does that, because he's obviously a thoroughly credible professional, working very hard to get ahead in this very tough sport. Now,